So, Nakaba, let me get this straight. You introduce a character from the last series that we may remember. Then you introduce us to another character who is doing a shady, malicious thing at the very end of a chapter. Then the chapter after that, you end up recontextualizing their actions, revealing more about the character that makes them seem more heroic. And they also happen to be very, very drippy. Nakaba, is this Nazians all over again? Before we hop into this chapter review of chapter 28 of 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, please do me a favor and leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got Pencil here, and here we are to review chapter 28 of 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, known as the Roar of Destruction. And honestly, this chapter be slapping, I ain't even gonna lie. But to be fair, it ends at a very weird point. Let's just hop right into it. Actually, before we hop right into it, I really like this opening page. Like, not gonna lie, seeing both, not both, seeing the trio, Hauser, Donnie, and Edlin, like them all training together, that's really, really nice. I really do like that. It shows a better time, assumedly, for all of them. I don't know. I really like that this was a dynamic, and I like that it's hinted at, and we don't know everything about it, and I'm excited to learn more about it, but we'll probably get into that maybe next chapter or later on. But we hop into the chapter, and it leaves us right where we left off. The ancient beast, the mighty dragon, is towering over, and we get to see that, geez, this thing's a menace. I mean, I love its design, though. Like, Nakaba is very good now. Well, not even, I have to say now, because last series, Nakaba sort of had this problem where there was, like, a major issue with scale. Like, things were big, but it was very hard to tell how big they were because they got body bagged instantly. Like, think of it like the Endura. Like, the Endura was super massive, but the scale didn't really matter because it didn't shake anything. It was in an empty, flat plane. There was something to compare it to. So it was big, but it wasn't, like, towering over mountains big. And thus, it got body bagged so quickly that the scale didn't really register for you. Then you had something like the Sandcrawlers. They were big, but they got body bagged instantly, so the scale didn't really register. You had things like the Demon King's final form, and that was big, but it didn't really register because it got body bagged so quickly. Like, there are so many things where Nakaba has, like, created large-scale creatures and things, but not giving them their proper, like, scale and weight to them. But no, by this first panel alone, by the way this dragon is, like, curling around the massive tower it's standing right next to, it really gives that presence to it, that, like, weight. It feels present, and I feel like that's very, very good. The last time we had presence from, like, a large-scale thing was honestly the initial introduction of the Albions. That was it, and that was forever ago. That was years upon years ago now. So I'm super happy to see it here. And I love how Donnie instantly does the realistic thing and just does the dash and makes it go fast, because that's what I would do too. Golly, this thing is gigantic. But see, it hints at it here. Like, Edlin is like, wait, hold on. Help me out here, buddy. Like, Edlin is still trying to be a friend. Like, last chapter, he came off mad ominous, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little, Edlin, you're being a bit sus last chapter. I'm not gonna lie, you kind of look like the imposter. But now, like, you see a much more human side to Edlin, just how he's portrayed. Like, when Donnie runs away, Edlin's shocked, he's screaming, he wants his friend back, essentially. And sadly enough, we don't get to keep on that. We instantly hop back over to the gang, which was knocked out. And something I forgot to mention last chapter, but I was right on 2 chapter reviews ago, that it was indeed Nasian's ability to like, take in poison and diffuse it. So as long, well, the thing is, it wasn't established that as long as he knows what it is, he can diffuse it. It's just like, as long as it's poison, he can diffuse it. So I guess maybe the thing he wasn't taking before, when he was messing with Percival, wasn't poison, but he still managed to reproduce it. Maybe it's just like a specific poison-based ability, and alcohol is poison. That's why he was perfectly fine. But hey, it'd be like that when it'd be like that sometimes. However, he also seems to, like, does he cast something to wake Percival and Anne up, or is that just them waking up naturally? Because he has this weird hand symbol up. Like, his pinky is pointed down. I'm not sure if that's like a spell activation thing or what. I don't know. It just seemed very, very weird. However, they're up. And the good thing to see is that Anne is still definitely mad at Hauser. And Hauser is apparently still drunk. But the even funnier thing is that Hauser, like, just straight up tells Anne, like, Anne accuses him of so many different things in a matter of 5 seconds. But the main thing that she gets him for is like, oh, you want to do illicit things with me? You're disgusting. And Hauser's like, you are like half my age, if that. no, I am not into you. And she just instantly goes like, how dare you insult me, and starts crying into Percival's cape. But the thing is, Percival, I feel like you should let that cape have a little bit more respect to it. Like, she's crying directly on it, and to be fair, it's a magic cape, so it's probably perfectly fine, but still. However, we get to see that Percival versus Hauser does happen, just not in the way we expected it to. Percival like directly headbutts directly into Hauser after he claims that Donnie had it coming, the sucker punch. And to be fair, like, Percival doesn't do major damage. Obviously, he doesn't have any of his magic out. He doesn't have any of his amps up, obviously. But still, for a base drunk Hauser who's probably way off guard, for someone as strong as Percival, like, he just took the headbutt, and the worst it did was make him throw up all the liquor in his system, which is very, very good. That actually helps them out a lot. I'm not going to lie. However, at the same time, it's cool to see that Percival, like, holds back when he hears that this is Donnie's uncle and this is the captain of the Holy Knights. So he's like, whoa, wait a minute. Who did I just assault? And then, you know, Hauser throws up everything. But then we cut back to the gang. And by the gang, I mean Donnie and Edlin. And we get to see that Edlin seemed to have control over this bag of bandits, like this group of people, but not in actuality. He's just like their pseudo leader. He's using them and they're using him. It's sort of like this law of equivalent exchange type thing, except like there's no equivalent exchange. I mean, I guess there kind of is. They get his power, he gets their numbers. But you can see where the lack of control is, because the moment Edlin goes to be like, hey, yo, catch the red-haired man, get Donnie, but don't kill him, they're instantly like, who do you think you are? Come on now, murder that man. And they go to murder that man. However, we also get to see that Edlin is keeping the dragon at bay. And the interesting thing is that the dragon is like, it's speaking to him. Like, that's not a roar. Like, the dragon roars, especially later on in the chapter, and it's growling at the beginning. But we get like, is it me or does that look like demon text? I don't know. Like, the dragon seems to be speaking to it, but that could just be like indistinguishable growls. But at the same time, I feel like we've seen that sort of text before, where it's almost like a speech pattern. And the best thing is that Edlin like reveals that, yo, come on now, buddy, I still got this egg. You really trying to mess with your boy? And then the dragon just instantly leaves. But I guess it turns around pretty darn quick, because there's not much delay before it. I mean, to be fair, it's not that far away. But it's shocking that no one noticed it before. Like, when they were coming up to camp, they didn't mention well, I mean, the dragon probably looks smaller in the distance. I'll give them that. I'm about to say, like, you didn't notice a gigantic ancient dragon just chilling nearby watching? And I love how Donnie, I'm assuming he levitated himself, because he's just chilling on some branches, like the low-hanging branches of Kant. He's just like dangling there. I don't know how. Man has a solid grip too, because he is holding it. And the thing is, we get to see that the bandits, they're kind of weird. Not kind of weird. They're disgusting, because they want to have a taste of the kids before they sell them off as slaves. And what? Like, I'm not even going to go into the weird implications of that, but you do get to see that Edlin, despite giving up the Holy Knight mantra and like wanting to be a Holy Knight, all that, he's given that up in terms of just title. Like, he's not actually going to harm the kids or anything like that. He doesn't want to do anything like that. However, we get to see the bandits go to pick up a rock, and they're going to go attack him. And I guess, I mean, like, Edlin, he's probably nowhere near Holy Knight level directly. I feel like if Hauser did get his hands on me, he'd probably body Edlin. But considering how powerful Edlin's like hyped up to be, I feel like man shouldn't be taken out by just one rock. But, you know, it'd be like that when it'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes you gotta do what to do. But the interesting thing is that Edlin apparently came around a while ago, about a year ago. And he was alone. He was in a completely different outfit, and he didn't have any bandits with him. But then he left and came back with all the bandits, and then he apparently just overtook the entire town, which is pretty impressive. But I suppose when you have a gigantic ancient dragon that can level an entire city, if ancient dragons are like an evolved version of tyrant dragons, which is what was in the last series and was said that it could level an entire town on its own, I could definitely see why everyone just left, because it's better if you just like run away rather than having to deal with a gigantic beast that's coming down being controlled by a human. But it's also interesting to see how Edlin managed to steal his egg. Like, the reasoning for why the dragon is so like hyped over the egg and is like, please give it back to me, bro, like, just please, I'm begging you, dog, and is like willing to listen to Edlin at all, is because, as Taizu explains, it's the last egg the dragon's gonna lay, because it's very, very old. But at the same time, like, how is Edlin good enough to actually no, never mind, that makes sense, because Edlin does have an illusion ability as it's revealed, and we get to see that Hauser did come for the rumors of his trainee, but he apparently threw up that man is gaunt. But see, like, I felt bad for Hauser, and I'll get into more, you know what, no, I'll get into that in a second. But regardless, we get to see that since we know the egg is a fake, now that the egg hasn't seemed to be hatching, it's sort of just chilling there, and as Taizo explains, like, yeah, well, no, Taizo's the one who straight up say the egg is a fake, and Hauser is the one who actually explains that Edlin can cast an imitation spell to create a perfect fake in terms of look, feel, but it's just an illusion. And that's how, like I predicted, you know, I be predicting things sometimes, I ain't the smartest. Oh wait, shout outs to every last one of y'all who predicted it was a dragon's egg, the only reason Edlin was able to control the ancient dragon. Shout outs to y'all smart out there, y'all big brained, I like that, y'all smart. But we do get to see that that is how Nazians got duped last chapter, because it was, in fact, Edlin making a copy of Percival with imitation magic. However, the interesting thing is, Hauser says he cast an imitation spell. He didn't say he used his natural inborn magic, imitation, to make a copy of blah blah blah. He specifically said an imitation spell. And I know it is implied that there are tons of magics within the world of 7 Deadly Sins to use, and thus anyone has access to them. As long as you study enough, you can learn any magic. But the thing is, there's so much magic in the world that you would need forever to learn it, and that's why Merlin became timeless, so on and so forth. But the thing is, who taught Edlin that spell? That's the question. Because I doubt it was Hauser. There's no real reason for Hauser to have learned imitation magic and then suddenly be teaching it to his students. And to be fair, Donnie's never shown any imitation magic before. It doesn't seem to be that this is Edlin's native inborn ability. I'm not gonna lie, just fake out, I suppose. I don't think that's his main thing. I feel like that would be noted. I feel like Hauser would have specified that, because there are differences between magic spells and magical abilities. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see. Was it Gother? Would Gother teach one of Hauser's students? I feel like that's not a thing, but who knows? Maybe. But we get to see that despite all that the dragon is sort of like learning. It's not the smartest creature, obviously. It didn't bother to check the egg, and it's obviously too scared to attack. But that's for good reason. It's the last egg it may ever lay. And we get to see that the dragon is like learning, and it is watching over the town. And now I look at it again, geez, Kant is not only tall, but it is also, the dragon is pretty far away, like just chilling there watching the entire time. And we get to see that the dream goal is for Hauser to just go body bag Edlin, body bag the dragon, and call it done. And of course, Hauser's being mean and rude and blah blah blah. And the thing is, like, the more and more I learn about Edlin, and after seeing Hauser's interaction with Donnie and seeing how Hauser interacts with all these kids, it's like, wow, Hauser, I felt bad for you when I saw you at the end of that chapter a few weeks back, but now I'm just like, wow, Hauser, run my fade right now. Because how do you have such a nice kid go against you? Like, even once he becomes the leader of a bandit gang, he doesn't kill anybody, he doesn't harm anybody, he doesn't even let them attack women or children. He's a really good dude, and honestly, I don't get what Hauser's problem was with him. Like, I know he became a bandit leader and blah blah blah, but being recontextualized like this, it just makes Hauser look like worse and worse of a person. Like, overall, he failed Donnie, obviously. He failed Edlin, apparently. Like, what's the dealio here? Like, Hauser, you better explain yourself, bro. You better have a good reason, because these seem like decent people that you yourself just ruined. How could you, Hauser? I trusted you. I respected you. Well, to be fair, I didn't respect you that much. But still, come on now, Hauser. What the heezy, man. But however, we do get to cut back after seeing Hauser's guilt, which is good. I am happy to see that Hauser does feel guilty to a degree. And I obviously know there's more to the backstory than what's being implied right here. And it was obviously the reason that Hauser shaved his beard too, because in the opening image, Hauser still does have his beard that he had at the end of Taizai. But now, obviously, he doesn't. He just has the 5 o'clock shadow. But then, once again, we cut back to said tortured student who is on the ground after getting bludgeoned with a whole rock, and he gets up and he's like, he's looking at them like, whoa, 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 whoa. Slide that egg back right now. It's not real. We need to protect from the dragon. But the dragon, like, the bandits are like, oh, now with that egg, the world below us, we control a single-tire dragon. And the single-tire dragon is so strong because it has an egg. And, like, I know these are just common bandit villains. Yeah, they're supposed to be stupid and dumb and blah, blah, blah. But, like, the fact that the moment the dragon, which was not lacking, bro, like, let's talk about how speedy that dragon was. That boy was at least half a mountain range away. instantly reappeared the moment when the egg was out of Edlin's hands and was ready to swoop down. And all the bandits who were so hard, so tough, instantly go soft the moment the dragon appears. And to be fair, I don't blame them, because I would be running away if the dragon appeared. And the egg just goes. It zooms. It is gone. And the egg just falls right past Donnie into where Sin and Sylvan are being kept. And we get to see that Sylvana's like, yo, what the heck is that gigantic egg? And Sin's like, wow, you really are an idiot, Sylvan. You think that's a whole egg, bruh? And then the dragon, after realizing that it's been duped, like its suspicions have been confirmed, just goes nuts and just absolutely levels Cant. Like instant, well, not levels Cant, but it does destroy a whole building. And at the very end, I believe, is that the man himself? No, that's Edlin. But we do not know where Donnie went, because I think Donnie was hanging off that structure. So my man may be falling. However, the chapter just ends there. Did anyone else find that weird? Like, that felt weird to me. Like, the chapter was going at a really good, really solid pace, only for it to suddenly be like, boom, we just had this gigantic roar, and we're gone. Like, that's it. The chapter just ends. We don't get any conclusion or resolution. This is literally like a two-parter. But regardless of that, I think this was a really, really good chapter. It was good for recontextualizing Donnie. Not Donnie. It was good for recontextualizing Edlin and to a much more sympathetic character. And while I do obviously notice like the resemblances to the Nasian's arc, I still think this is very, very good because it puts a new spin on it. And I don't think Edlin's going to join the gang. I feel like as cool as it would be for Edlin to join the gang, especially to get that friendship rekindled between Edlin and Donnie, I don't think it's enough for Edlin to like really be a mainstay, especially since y'all explained to me in last week's comment section that Edlin is actually a big Arthurian no guy, and I feel bad for him. It'll be interesting. I feel like he'll be one of our more sympathetic villains. Obviously Arthur's supposed to be sympathetic, but that man's a whole demon right now, so I'm not even gonna mess with him. But Edlin, seeing his struggling truffles, but seeing his struggles in this narrative, especially in the past of this narrative, will be super interesting to see, and I'm actually really, really excited. How would I give the chapter? Probably a solid 8 out of 10. I think as cool as it is that the chapter includes, as cool as it is, I think that the chapter as cool as it is that the chapter concludes on this big old high note of the dragon just being like, hold the base, boom, and just dropping it on him, I do think it's not like a satisfying ending to the story of the chapter itself. It's very much a like there should have just at least been one more page to be like a shocked look or something like that, something that really signifies the end of a chapter. Just for the dragon to just go boop doesn't seem to be the most like solid conclusion out there. I feel like that could have been ended better. It could have been a smoother transition into the ending, though I get why it ended like this, because it has to be like a big shock moment. But I do think the chapter is good for recontextualizing Edlin. It does make Hauser look worse, but I feel like that's just going to build up into like a little redemption arc for him or something special for him individually. I also do believe that we are going to get some more Donnie. Like, he's going to live, obviously. He may levitate himself off the wood, and he may get a power up. This may be his arc, since this is his fellow character alongside his uncle. So I do think he is going to be doing very good. Do I think Percival, Anne, and Nasian's going to take a back seat from this point on? Yeah, I think so, and I think it's appropriate too. Nasian's had his whole little big arc, blah, blah, blah. We just finished with Anne's whole main arc, and Percival, he's our main character. He obviously has more time in the future, so I feel like Donnie, honestly, shockingly enough, probably our least developed character so far. Well, actually, no, he has some decent development, but still, our least, like, in my opinion, the least likable character is... He needs some help. He needs some support. So I feel like this arc will definitely do that for him. However, that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.